So I got this comment this morning and said something along the lines of, I'm so glad I didn't ride SOFI down. I'm so glad I didn't buy SOFI. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly why that is a terrible mindset to have on a stock that you believe in. And not only that, if you drop a comment down below, I'm going to give you my full market panic playbook specifically for option sellers. Just drop a comment. I'll send you over that ebook. And while you're down there, hit that like button, that subscribe button. And of course, I hope you're having an absolutely God-blessed day, guys. But I cannot stress enough for the fact that when I got this comment, it made my heart start to race, okay? Because it was a comment along the lines of, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't get into SOFI. I'm so glad I didn't, sell options on stocks because of this massive downturn in the market. And when I see messages like this, I'm sorry to go off. My hands just go to my face and I'm like, you miss the entire point. It's absolutely insanity that so many people, they love running, selling options and running the wheel strategy only in a bull market, only when it goes up, when you don't realize that you actually make more money when the stock is plummeting downwards. But let me show you what I'm talking about. So the message I got along the lines was, I'm glad I didn't get into SOFI, or any selling options on any other stocks right now, just because, the market is in such a downturn right now. I'd be stuck, holding SOFI at like 22 right now when it's only trading at $19. And look, it's even red in pre-market. So let's kind of recap what we're talking about if you don't even know what we're talking about. Basically, what we do here on this channel is we sell puts and we sell covered calls. So in this example, right, on the SOFI options chain, I'm going to click sell a put and I'm just going to go 32 days away. All I'm saying here is I'm willing to buy 100 shares of SOFI on March 27th at close, and I get to dictate my price, okay? I get to name my price on which I'd want to actually own 100 shares of SOFI at, right? So I could choose the 15s, I could choose the 16s, I could do the 17s, right? Obviously, I want to be below what it's currently trading at, obviously, right? So if I do, let's say, the 16s, I would be collecting some net premium, some actual income from an options buyer. Between the bid and ask, we'll call it $45 of premium. I toss this into my cash secured put calculator here, and all my calculators are free, guys. Just attend the Ark Options workshop. It'll be the first link in the description of today's video, and I give you my full trade log templates as well as calculators at the end. So $45 of premium. The collateral that we need for this play is we're locking up 16 times 100, so $1,600 in collateral, right? And now you could see this is what our trade looks like. We're collecting just under a 3% collateral on this trade in a 31-day time frame. Now, just quickly recapping the risk because I'm about to go off on them in a second, right? At close on March 27th, if we're trading below above 16, we don't have to buy the shares. Obviously, it's not trading at 16, but the big risk comes into the strategy is, let's say, in 27 days, SOFI is trading at 15, 14, 13. Well, guess what? You are on the hook to buy your shares at 16. And this is where people start to get scared because you may have to buy a stock trading at, let's say, $12, right? But you're buying it at 16, right? And a lot of people, right, have been assigned, at least in my world, between 21 and 23 on SOFI, even though SOFI is trading right now currently at $19, right? Feels like it's not good, right? It doesn't feel good, right? Watch the magic unfold, folks. Watch the magic unfold, okay? Because this is where it's not clocking to a lot of people, right? That they only want to do it in the upwards markets. They say, "Hey, I don't want to risk this much collateral for such little reward." And then I'm like, you do realize the other alternative is going and buying options where you're almost guaranteed to walk away with absolutely nothing. Your $1,600 that you go buy options on, you're basically just lighting it on fire, and then you're left with nothing. At least with this strategy, you get to dictate the stocks that you have high conviction in. And secondly, right, what you're able to do then is actually be left with an asset if you have to buy the shares, and if it's a good quality company, you think it's going to recover, fantastic. So let me walk you through this, okay? Let me walk you through this. So to the peoples that got assigned, let's say at like 21 or whatever, right? Your time will come. In my personal opinion on SOFI, I do think SOFI is going to hit all-time highs again. I'm continuing to ride SOFI down. I'm very team SOFI. But guess what? The people that are, they always sit on the sidelines. They immediately quit a strategy, and this is why people quit the wheel strategy. They can't even be patient. They cannot be patient. They have to get like instant feedback. That they need that dopamine in their brain, right? And in my opinion, that is just like the worst thing you could possibly do. Be patient, okay? This is why this strategy works. Be patient, because guess what? When SOFI does recover, when it inevitably recovers, in my personal opinion, when I go to sell a call And let's say let's just pretend, we'll just kind of just say, let's say we were assigned at, we'll just say 18 or so, something like that, right? We'll say we were assigned at 18, right? We'll just say it because, I don't want the numbers to be all skewed for you, right? When you have a lower cost basis now, right? So let's say you actually do get assigned at like 18, right? And your cover call calculator, just pull this up here and let me zoom in here for you. So let's say you were actually assigned at 18, and I'm going to put my purchase strike price here at 18. Okay. Now my strike of the option, obviously, ideally, I would love to be able to start, doing like, 20s, like even if I did let's say I did a 21 right here. What's honestly crazy is even if you're assigned SOFI at like 20 right now or 21, you could still do covered calls, right? Like you could still do covered calls and collect some decent premium. Everyone's just freaking out that because they want their 3%. When in actuality you could still get like around 2. All right, so we collect about $67 of premium on this end. Let me move this out of the way because I can't click it. $65 of premium, right? And our strike of our option in this case is, we'll just say 21s, okay? Well, our strike of the option is 21s, okay? And that is an insane premium return. Why am I showing you this? Well, because let's say SOFI, you have to understand your cost basis is going to remain your cost basis. So you actually make out better in the future. Okay, let me walk you through this real quick. So let's say your cost basis, and we'll just use a fictitious example. Okay, let's say your cost basis is, we'll just say 20, right? And I can't really show this on the options chain because it's not going to necessarily work on the options chain because of the numbers. But let's just follow along with me, right? Our purchase strike price is 20. Let's say in the next 6 months or so, SOFI starts to recover. It's trading at like 28, 29. Your cost basis is 20. You now, let's say the current value of the stock is at 28. Your cost basis is really solid. You can now go way further out on your strike prices. You could start doing stuff at 30, plus, like you maybe even doing 32, 33, 34s, right? And take way less delta, like a much lower delta. So let's say even if you did like the 33s, right? And even if, right, all it's going to come down to is what your premium and your return on collateral is going to be. So even if you collect, let's say $40, right? Only $40. Your cost basis is your cost basis, right? So the premium is dividing by your cost basis of $2,000 here. So you don't even have to play close to the money. You don't have to play in that 20, 30 delta range where there's a higher chance of assignment. When you have a really good cost basis on a stock, right? You are in a way better position because now you can be playing way further, further away from the money, as opposed to somebody that, let's say, isn't assigned at all and they're still trying to get assigned at cash secured puts. Yes, that person is playing 20, 30 deltas. They're collecting the premiums and stuff like that. But they also run the risk that we're facing right now, right? So let's say if you're assigned at 20, but the stock is trading at 9 or 21, right? And the stock is trading at like 19. Okay, well, guess what? You're still not in a bad spot, to be honest with you, because guess what? Let's say you had $2,100, right? You own 100 shares, but let's say you collected from your cash secured puts like we'll just say $100. You did one trade or maybe two, and you collected $200 or $100 of premium. So your effective cost basis, if you really want to factor that in, is $2,000, right? So even if you could do that, you could say, hey, my cost base is actually 20, and then I'm just going to do the 21s because I'm scared, and then I can come over here and I can look at like what am I getting for my 20s here? And in your 20s, you're collecting $96 of premium, more, about $100 of premium on those, right? So you could see how this becomes way more lucrative, in my opinion, when your cost basis is a lot lower. But people stress out, right? They stress out that, oh my gosh, my cost basis, right? It's at it's below the value of the stock. I'm screwed. You're not screwed, right? You just have to. You don't know what to do yet. You haven't been in this position yet, right? So you're kind of stressed out. So when people like are in these uncomfortable situations that they've never dealt with before, they make rash decisions, right? They sell their shares because it's dropping, and you made an emotional decision and you lost money. When in actuality, the fundamentals, in my opinion, on a lot of these companies that are getting beat up right now are still really good, I mean, they're better than I'd warrant to say SoFi's fundamentals are better than they've ever been, and I think most of you watching would honestly agree with me that they are better than they have absolutely ever been. But a lot of people, they get fearful, they get so scared when the second leg of that wheel strategy happens, where you actually have to take some assignment. Why are we scared of assignment? It makes no sense to me. When you are finally able to do covered calls with a great cost basis on a stock, you could be playing at like 0.5, like the 5 delta, 0.05 delta, right? Where there's only a 5% chance of assignment, and you're still getting a ridiculous premium return because your purchase strike price is so low, right? Relative to the current value of the stock. So you're in a different ball game. You're playing a whole different ball game of the wheel strategy than everybody else is. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to attend the Ark Options workshop. I dive into this way more. You could grab my trade log template, my 2 premium calculators as well. Click the first link in the description of today's video. That's our Ark Option workshop. It's about 90 minutes. Perfect for those of you that are beginners on all this and want help to implement this stuff for yourself. And at the end of that training, I give you all these free resources completely for free. Guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.